All right, thanks for joining today, everyone. We'll just wait a couple of minutes or a minute or so while we let a few people join, and then we'll kick off.
Hope everyone's had a lovely morning as well, wherever you're joining us from.
Yeah, some of us had the long weekend, so I hope you had the long weekend. But if you didn't have it, obviously you had it the weekend before. So if you did, hope the short week's going well for you. Uh, I'll get going now. So thanks for joining us, everyone. This is the final webinar in our four-part webinar series. If you missed the previous webinars, they'll be available on the Athos Commerce YouTube channel, and I'm sure it'll be all over social media as well. So the final episode is how to boost merchandising without development help. So big focus on no-code changes, and that's some of the customer examples we'll be showing you today. And that just ties back to our overall goal, which is to turn every shopper interaction into growth, optimizing for profit, so conversion rate, AOV, and so on, as well as that continued growth. First of all, a bit of housekeeping. As mentioned, we'll be sending out the recording afterwards, and you can also find them on our YouTube channel. And there is also a QR code, so I'll just pause for a few seconds. If you wanted to scan that, you can download our Black Friday 2025 checklist. As everyone is aware, it is coming up very, very quickly. So really good, some really good insights in there if you'd like to take a look. Joining me today is our Senior Business Development Manager, Chris Esler, and I'm Michael Smedley. So we head up the new customer team. So if you want to have a conversation, we'd love to take you through, do an audit of your site, and help you with that. So category pages and merchandising, it's more than just a list of products, right? So powerful lever for profit. The key areas we're going to talk about today are boosting, so automation and no-code development changes. So boosting things like your higher margin, in-stock products, fully priced, new products, and so on. Those are just a few of the levers we can pull with Athos. And then sort and filter. So advanced sort and filter extending out from your core e-commerce platform capability. Top viewed products, best sellers, new products, and then advanced filters based on all available data. And we've got some great examples to show you in just a minute. And then pinning and managing that enhanced pinning process, pinning across the page and setting up automation rules to add and remove them, which can take away that manual work as products sell out and no longer are those preferred items. I'm going to hand over to Chris now to talk through some of our great customer examples.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so I mean, what we want to start up with here is our use of automated boosting rules, and really the reason we use this is so we can give teams more control over what shoppers see, and really let tech do the heavy lifting. Yeah, so we know that a lot of brands can spend a lot of time curating collections, so they're looking really beautiful. But what this often means is search results often get neglected. Yeah, and this is obviously an issue because we know that shoppers that use search are usually the most motivated buyers if they can get to what they're after really quickly. So looking at this example here, Cafe Appliances doing a broad search for fridge. You can see there 2,500 products, but what they're doing is using boost rules to lead with those marquee items at the top before we move down to those parts and accessories. And Mike touched on it before, but some other use cases that we might want to look at here is highlighting high margin items or managing stock levels or even demoting products that don't have images. If we jump across to the next couple of examples, cool. So you'll see the upside here. So they're using multiple merchandising rules. So what they're actually doing is pushing new and then also full size curve items to the top of their listings. Whereas what we're seeing with West Elm, when we're doing a search for sofa, they prefer to boost with best sellers. What you can also see here with the upside is they're actually grouping synonyms together as well. So on a search for tights, also pulling through leggings and pants, which is really making it easier for shoppers to find what they want. And obviously another really great way to increase conversions as well. Cool. Advanced sort and filtering. So obviously we touched on it. We know that shoppers using the search bar already have a pretty clear goal in mind of what they want. Could be like men's Asics Kayano. Whereas shoppers who know what they want, but they're still comparing options, really rely heavily on that navigation, visual cues, and then merchandising to guide choices. So a couple of examples here, we've got wetsuits and shirts. So leading with those top level filters before we get down into those more technical options for the wetties. So like zip and thickness, and obviously really love the inclusion of the review data in here as well. But like filtering should adapt to shopper behavior, yeah, and the page context. So we've got those most relevant options first. And if we look at the sort options that they've got there as well, these should really be consistent across search and search results and collections. It's a really great example here where they're using customer friendly language. Yeah, shoppers aren't searching by A to Z or new to old. So if you're still using these, there's a real opportunity here to clean this up and help shoppers prioritize what matters most to them. Cool. Inline banners, obviously a really great way to engage shoppers across the site, highlighting key messages. It's really easy for us to set up in the platform. We'll touch on it in the demo. We can either do static or video banners and adjust the placement as well. A few examples here. We've got same frock with primary and inline banners, and then the same thing with C-Foley. If we jump across to the next page, what we've got here is a really great example from Ruggable where they're leading with an inline banner on their Founders collection. So we know founder content is becoming more popular, and obviously Ruggable here are doing a really good job at building that deeper customer connection through and loyalty. And then obviously down the bottom, another really good example from Snuggle Honey, using that inline banner to call out the loyalty program across both collections and search results. And finally, before we jump into the demo, touched on it before, but obviously shoppers are looking for visual cues to help guide them through that discovery journey. Badges are a great way to help them find items within a crowded product catalog. So some really great examples here at the top: free gift with purchase on items over a certain amount, and then being able to stack multiple badges as well. So really easy for us to take your attributes from your product data and then have all of these badges automated so they're appearing and disappearing as relevant. Obviously down the bottom with Mocha, what I really love about this one, Mike, is the ready to ship badges because it builds trust. There's no pre-order 10-week lead time. It's like, we're ordering this, you're going to get it shortly. And the other call out here is the percentage off badges. So we've actually done some A/B testing here, and we actually found out that these were more effective because it's highlighting higher value to the customer as well. Some other great examples I've seen as well is obviously low stock, sale ends soon, or if you've got the brick and mortar as well, having like staff pick, so you can have that create that in-store experience where you're chatting face to face with someone online as well. But again, all of these we use automation within the platform, so yeah, it's just appearing and dynamically reordering on the fly.
Thanks, Chris. And the biggest thing on these examples is that these are all no code changes that don't require developer
Yeah.
assistance. Obviously, the developer team for almost all businesses is usually very busy, so not having to load them up with potential changes is massive, as well as anyone in sort of the marketing or e-commerce teams or digital teams can easily make these changes themselves without requiring any sort of developer assistance. I'm just going to change over now and jump into the back end to show very quickly some of those changes. So again, focusing on the ability to not have to do any sort of developer work. So jumping into the back end now, I'm just going to quickly touch on that merchandising process. So we merchandise in Athos through what we call campaigns. So global campaign runs on every search and category by default, with the idea being to reduce that manual work, and all of those less prioritized campaigns will be covered by this global campaign. And that might just be your core automated merchandising, like promoting products with high size curve availability, promoting fully priced products and new items as well. And then at the individual campaign level, against specific search and category pages, that's where you'll be able to make those individual changes to your high priority category or collections and your high priority search terms as well. We also have some other layers of automation with things like geographical merchandising. So this is a really good way to manage international shoppers. If you're not currently running a different domain for all of your international visitors, or you're not currently using Shop My Markets or something of that nature, you can geographically merchandise. And you can actually see here by state if you're in the US, but then obviously for our Australian customers, we have state-based merchandising for Australia. Obviously, Far North Queensland and Queensland itself see significantly different weather to Melbourne, so important to be able to merchandise differently in those cases. And then we also have the ability to segment as well for things like VIP shoppers as well. Going into the global campaign, the key areas of automation and being able to make changes immediately, you have this really easy drop-down boost options here. So you can see I've got in stock, recently added, and sales rank high to low as my core rules. But this is all really easy to change. So I can just easily make changes there and change that to 14 days, change back to 30 days and so on. And then I can also jump in and add boosting rules. So for example, I might want to say is not on sale. So all of those top items are going to be fully priced items. That's just a very quick change. But then all of these fields are taken from the integration that we build to your platform, not requiring the developers again. And then you can make changes here. And these are all just raw data points, right? So you see that on sale one as well. And then things like price point. Chris touched on that with the example of the fridges, being able to push fully priced, higher priced items to the top. But again, all of these raw data points are then ingested, and it's really easy to use in an intuitive login, as opposed to necessarily having to mess around with back-end code and things of that nature. If I jump into an individual category, in this case, an all dresses category for a fashion example, I've jumped into add banners because we did show that example before. And what I wanted to show is how easy it is to add it in. I can add in a video banner or an image and so on. I can add a video. I've just taken one of our recent webinars, and then I can change that title as well if I want to. And then that's going to load there, and I can add that in. Obviously, this is a very quick and easy example. So you saw that, you could have seen before, we can format that sizing to fit your PDP page, but I can just test and see this in here and then push that live onto the site. A couple of other very quick things. We have the ability to manage the stock levels, again, and recently added, and then individual boost ringers on a specific page. And then the other aspect of that no-code approach is you can easily do things like change the ordering for filters. I can click and drag without having to do, again, any sort of development work. I can click and drag to change those most important. If I think price and brand are going to be the most important, really easy to make that change, that order, as well as hide ones that I don't want to show on a particular page. Finally, we also have things like scheduling of campaigns. So focusing on that ease of use, not having to make any coding, you can easily schedule changes to go live and change and launch, as well as ending as well. So obviously those sale periods are where that's going to be most important. So jumping back to the slides themselves. If you wanted to take a look at a site audit, what we can do is Chris or I can take a look at your site and share some really easy low-hanging fruit that we can immediately make changes and improve the site. To scan that ahead there, I'll leave that on for a few more seconds before we wrap up. We would love to speak to you optimizing ahead of peak retail. Obviously, Black Friday is coming up, and then it's only a very short break before we go into the Christmas, Boxing Day sales. So we'd love to chat with you. No obligations, and we can take you through where we think we could help you all. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining. As mentioned, we'll send up this recording and you'll be able to find it online as well. But please feel free to reach out to Chris or I if you've got any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers, Mike. Have a good one.
Cheers, everyone.